What if everyone is wrong about female bodybuilding?
There's still a lot of people out there, they can't accept the idea that a woman has muscles, that a woman is physically strong.
In this industry, we call each other Iron Sisters. And so many times we'll see people be mean to us because we're different.
And I would love to, how do I put this in a nice way? Cut out their mouths and their brain, just scoop it right out, because there's nothing in there.
People are looking at their body and they're looking at them, but they're not seeing what's inside. And what's inside is someone who was brave enough to just say, this is what I want, no matter what the world tells me.
If you have seen female bodybuilders, your first impression probably wasn't positive, whether that's because of how masculine they look.
This is a little silicone scrubber, and it's just to get the dead skin off.
How deep their voice becomes.
I'm ready, please, put on some good muscle, and the definition is coming through already.
Or the fact that community fears they'll never find love.
It's a very selfish sport, plain and simple. It can be very hard in relationships, very hard, very stressful.
Once you first started doing it, I was like, man, it's gonna be hard.
There are numerous reasons why female bodybuilders became so hated, and how this came about is concerning.
I mean, just people would call me sir.
Even like if I go power walking here, I get a lot of comments like people are like, wow.
You're all natural and you train so hard, and then there's these other competitors that take the supplements and they have the fake breasts and stuff like that, and they place better because they have, it's just more, I guess, attractive, which I don't necessarily agree with.
And I rented this room, and the woman I rented it from, she asked me in our initial conversation if I was trans.
Despite the exponential rise in revenue, professional bodybuilding still remains the most controversial sport for women.
Let's get a shot of her back, because her back, I think, might be the most impressive attribute on her whole body. That's the broadest female back I think I've ever seen.
So what sparked that interest, and how did you got into bodybuilding?
I got into bodybuilding just hanging around with a couple of girlfriends that were involved with it.
I got into this sport because it made me feel better about myself.
It wasn't like I started wanting to compete. It was more like I started just in college because I wanted to do just more sports.
If you want to be a guy dressed like a guy, I keep telling them, look, I don't want to be a guy. I want to be a girl who's strong.
Bodybuilding started as a man's sport, and these men were called strong men. How they looked wasn't important. They could be slim, fat, or chubby. What matters most was their physical strength. What amount of load can you lift? The heavier load you lift, the more attention you get from the opposite sex. Few years later, physical strength was pointless and body physique was praised. Broad shoulders, huge arms, chiseled abs, and a bigger chest was every man's goal and every woman's dream.
Is Chris as dreamy and wonderful as we all assume he is?
He's pretty. He is pretty. Not gonna lie. That boy is pretty.
I couldn't quite help myself during the scene. It was the first time I saw him, and it was the first time I was that close, so I just kind of touched them gently.
Tonight I want to make you happy, so I would like to share with you, I brought a shirtless photo of Chris Hemsworth to share.
On the flip side, every man's dream woman was the opposite. Soft and gentle, caring and loving, sweet and beautiful, chubby and busty. Then all of a sudden, everything changed.
I was skinny on my upper body and pretty fat legs. Yeah, and I was embarrassed about this, and I didn't like to go at the beach.
It's really important for me to be able to come off as strong, beautiful, and feminine when you're carrying around all this muscle.
Everyone became obsessed with their physique. Every gym were 40% dominated by women, but everything was about to go on a completely different level when steroids were introduced.
Lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight. The winners of those classes move on to the all-important overall competition, and the champion of that has the opportunity to join the ranks of the professionals. Talk about professionals. We have one of our own, the 1983 former Miss Olympia, Carla Dunlap. And Carla, Women's bodybuilding. There has been some cloudiness in the past as to what the judges are looking for. Tonight, no ambiguity at all to what they're looking for.
No, John, they've given the women a directive that says they can develop as far as their genetic potential will take them. And one of the things they have to pay attention to is symmetry.
To the NPC women's chairperson, Sandy Ranelli, and we asked her, what are the judges looking for? She's going to tell you exactly that.
And our first pose is our front double bicep. Etta will start, she will tighten up her quadricep. Front of her leg, she'll come up, she'll tighten up her abdominal area, and then she will go into her front double bicep. You'll see the bicep muscle, see her tricep, and also you'll see her chest muscle. And relax. The second pose for the women is the side chest. Eric will demonstrate the chest thickness, her delt development, her bicep, her thigh, and glute and hamstring development. And relax.
Sharon has a striking physique. My biggest complaint about her physique is that her calves are a little weak.
In the lightweight competition, Michelle Ralabate. She looks great. You know, she has that V taper going on. The midsection was really dry and crisp. She definitely deserved the win.
It doesn't just happen overnight. I mean, one of the misconceptions is you're going to wake up one morning and say, oh my God, what have I done? It happens very, very slowly. There's no activities going to make a woman look like a man unless you do something to your endocrine system, meaning if you inject steroids into your body.
Regardless of how masculine they'll become and how manly they'll look, it's inevitable to compete in female bodybuilding without taking steroids.
What I'm currently taking is for strength. Like I said, I'm 6 weeks out from a meet. So right now I'm on 10 milligrams of Anavar. I'm taking 10 milligrams of Winstraw, and I just started Mastron, and I'm running about 100 milligrams a week. I will up those as it gets closer, and I'm even going to add in some Halo.
My voice got pretty deep. Body hair, clit growth.
You look at a female bodybuilder and you probably feel like, oh, I don't want to be that muscular. That's too much. This is 2016. We're not at a place where we're trying to tell others what they can and cannot look like, you know, to tell women what they can and cannot be.
So halotestin is super strong. Women should not take it, but in the powerlifting world, it's used for strength. I'm not using it for aesthetic purposes, so I'm only going to use it for about 2 to 3 weeks at the end and just see what happens. I am one of those people that I can handle a lot of gear and still maintain my femininity and the structure of my face. My voice isn't too deep. So I've been able to dabble in just about every single thing that's out there, and that's why I'm so open about talking about it, because I want to be able to share my experience, and if that helps anyone else in their journey, then I'm all for it.
I heard you went on a date last night.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
It went alright, but it was kind of awkward. It was just kind of funny, but like in a weird, goofy kind of way, like not my style.
What were you expecting?
The Rock.
Dwayne Johnson? I think Tanya faces some significant obstacles when it comes to dating. He's got to have the looks that she's looking for, but he's also got to understand her looks, her lifestyle.
A freelancer on Quora said, I wouldn't say most people hate them, but most men are not attracted to them because their physique are masculine, and men like feminine hourglass-shaped physique and softer bodies. Another Quora user stated, it's the extreme striations and veins that bother most people rather than their muscles. Hate is a strong word. I don't hate them, I just find them gross. Steroids have changed our perception of what a fit and masculine man should look. They are everywhere, but at least these guys are abusing of the male sexual hormone, testosterone. When you see women doing the same thing, the result is just as disgusting but worse. There's absolutely nothing appealing on a woman whose shoulders and traps are bigger than any normal man's. In 2009, we saw the passing of a wife and a mother of 3, Trish Porter, at the age of 44. She was a dedicated bodybuilder, very committed to her training, and a wonderful wife. But unfortunately, her lifestyle choices led to an unexpected death caused by a sudden stroke. We've seen other disturbing stories like the famous bodybuilder who went clinically insane, the 20-year-old Jody Vance who passed away, the bodybuilding beauty queen found dead while on holiday, and the sudden passing of many other female bodybuilders at such a young age. While these stories can be disturbing, it's also worth showing the other side of the spectrum. There are competitions of fitness models who seek an aesthetic physique, and they are absolutely stunning. No roids, no gross muscles, just fit and toned women. An athletic physique on a man or woman always get praised every single time. Body enhancing drugs have completely destroyed the way we see bodybuilding. Being healthy isn't the goal anymore. The goal now is to look unrealistic in the fastest time possible, and if this continues, we'll witness more tragedies. But even more worse is obesity.
Obesity is becoming the leading cause of cancer in women, and a brand new study is out on breastfeeding.
But this study out of the UK is somewhat surprising. A new report warns that obesity is set to overtake smoking as the leading preventable cause of cancer in women. Researchers say that about 23,000 British women will suffer from obesity-related cancer by the year 2035, and that's only about 2,000 fewer than the number of cases caused by smoking. So something to really think about.
Physical fitness and regular exercise in general should be embraced. Eating healthy and living healthy should be the priority.
There's one thing that women are not doing across their lifespan that could tremendously reduce their risk of death, and that is building muscle.
There's no such thing as just being lucky, you know? Anything in life, you gotta work hard at it, especially on ourselves.